Welcome to Truth in Essence. My name's Edward Jones, and today we're diving into the daily astrological transits to bring you a clear understanding of the cosmic currents and their impact on your life. The moon approaches a conjunction with Pluto. Keep in mind that our cosmic journey doesn't happen in isolation. It's essential to consider the positions of other planets as well. While Mars is currently distancing itself from trine with Pluto, finds itself in a unique position, stepping into Libra where its energy might feel a bit subdued. Its entrance into Libra is a noticeable shift in the usual drive and energy of Mars. Perhaps you'll be less demanding over the next month as Mars bottles its energy through the guise of diplomacy. This continues the theme of internalization that's been present for many parts of the summer, with Venus's retrograde through the sign of Leo. The Moon, Pluto, and Mars form a celestial trio, infusing today's conjunction with a martial essence. It's not really about forceful action, but rather a transformative process that embraces a more nuanced approach. As the Moon triggers these aspects, it illuminates a path of action that might not fully materialize yet. It's like receiving a puzzle piece before the entire picture comes into view, into focus, a clue to the steps that might be yet to come. Simultaneously, the Sun is emerging from its opposition with Saturn, and this was a particularly hard aspect just a few days ago. Saturn's the taskmaster planet associated with Capricorn and the more extroverted Aquarius. Saturn's influence lingers, revealing a facet of its character that might have been overlooked when we were experiencing the opposition. The usually heavy Saturn in Pisces now stands on the cusp of reality and dreams, urging us to explore new dimensions of our lives that demand our attention. Saturn in Pisces isn't necessarily whimsical, as it wants to imbue the energies of Pisces into our daily lives and not some wandering plane. So it's taking this emotional essence of Pisces and almost bringing meaning into the way that we interact with the world. As the Moon ventures into Aquarius, it forms a harmonious trine with Mars, the same one that Pluto formed just a couple days ago. However, Mars's vigor is muted in the sign of Libra, and it won't have its usual directness. Additionally, Mars's ruler Venus is still retrograde in Leo for another week. I believe the coming days are colored by the combination of Venus and Saturn. Although they're not directly aspecting one another, each planet still seems to play an important role in the mundane chart as a whole. Both planets seem to hold the spotlight in this particular cosmic performance. In Vedic astrology, the two planets are considered friends. Think of Saturn exalted in Venus' sign of Libra. The two reflect a creative constructivism that I think has been present for the summer, as well as the months to come. A unique configuration will emerge with Jupiter stationing retrograde in Taurus and Venus in Leo, about to turn direct. We'll talk more about this dynamic in a few days, but I'm still amazed at the timing of the planets. Astrology, to me, is like ancient fishermen watching the whales' movements to understand the rhythms of the natural world. Planets don't necessarily dictate energetic shifts, but rather they mirror the energies at play. In the solar system, there's nothing larger than Jupiter. Nothing's large as the Sun. Nothing seemingly faster than Mercury or the Moon. They're essentially barometers of the naturally occurring forces that govern our reality. Similarly, we can attune ourselves to these cosmic rhythms and sensitively navigate life's currents. It becomes clear we're sailing in an ocean of synchronicity, as reflected by the almost perfect motion of the celestial bodies. It's timed in a way that just couldn't plan ourselves. Billions of humans on the earth, each experiencing astrological transits that are relevant to them. And over the next few months, I foresee a period of experimentation. The revisiting of a sextile between Jupiter and Saturn, alongside Venus eventually catching up to Mars in early Aquarius, which is the opposition point of Venus's upcoming station and Pluto's eventual destination. It whispers promises of a transformative experience culminating in the new year. The moon's regular passage through Aquarius offers hints of these shifts, reminding us that significant changes are on the horizon, especially with Pluto's eventual stay in Aquarius for nearly 2 decades. I think this portion of the zodiac, even for the last decade or two, has been really prominent. Just watching what's been going on in Capricorn and Aquarius. And Venus is nearing the end of its retrograde phase. Lessons from the summer retrograde become clearer, and we're poised to delve into reflections and insights in the coming weeks. Perhaps this means piecing together the puzzle of Venus's back and forth in your own chart and its significance in your life moving forward. The dynamic between the moon and Venus, particularly in opposition, which is going to be taking place in the evening today, presents a captivating contrast. This interplay between the softer energies, albeit in the harder signs of Leo and Aquarius, offers a delicate dance of pleasure and challenge. In a sense, the message is that focusing on oneself doesn't need to be a selfish endeavor. We can learn to transmute a focus on the self into something meaningful for the community at large. Sometimes this means essentially rebelling against the self to create a change grounded in the world. I think Venus recognizes her power, can only shine when it's connected to something larger than herself. In this case, the more utopian focused insight of Aquarius in contrast to the flamboyance of Leo. So, ultimately, to understand the astrological weather, you have to weave together the influence of the entire sky. The astrological fabric is essentially comprised of molecules. When isolated, a planet and a sign doesn't really tell us a whole lot. It's usually necessary to see it within the context of the rest of the chart. From its house, the sections of the chart it's ruling, its primary aspects, simply the chart as a whole. When taking everything in simultaneously, a greater story is told. Then a singular planet would be able to communicate, just in isolation. It's like the molecules forming the organs, and then forming the organism itself. In closing, today offers a blend of practicality and creativity, a clearer view of Venus's transition from a retrograde phase. While we're approaching Venus's station point in Leo, the journey continues for another week, followed by several weeks of her movement through shadow, or the degrees which she moved forward before stationing retrograde midsummer. This week feels introspective, leading up to a full moon in Virgo, ruled by a positive Mercury in Virgo traveling backwards through the sky. We'll explore this dynamic on Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe if you'd like to stay tuned to just hearing about what's going on astrologically, and then my general thoughts, whatever wants to come up. Stay engaged with daily explorations into astrology and beyond. Don't forget to show your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. And then follow me on Instagram at Edward T. Jones. We're embarking on a pretty exciting journey, and I'm grateful to have you along as we delve regularly into the daily transits more, helping you connect the different aspects of your life through the lens of astrology. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, stay curious.